If you have ever watched a player tie his boot for 45 seconds in the 89th minute while his team clings to a one-goal lead, or watched a forward collapse to the ground clutching his face after a light breeze, or watched a substitute walk off the pitch at the speed of a man who has genuinely forgotten where he parked his car, then you already understand exactly why FIFA just rewrote the rulebook ahead of the 2026 World Cup. Because the dirty secret of modern football is that the sport's biggest enemy is not bad defending or poor finishing or questionable refereeing. It is time, specifically the industrial-scale theft of it that has been happening in plain sight for decades, while everyone in the sport either laughed, complained, or did absolutely nothing. And FIFA has apparently decided that the 2026 World Cup, the biggest tournament in the history of the game, spanning 3 countries and 48 teams and a projected $11 billion in revenue, is not going to be remembered as the tournament where players spent 20 minutes per match lying on the ground, shuffling to the touchline, and pretending their hamstrings had spontaneously dissolved. So they have introduced 6 new rules, and you need to know all of them, because some of them are genuinely good, some of them are going to create arguments that last the entire tournament, and all of them are happening whether the players, the managers, or the pundits agree with them or not. The first rule is the 5-second countdown, and it is exactly what it sounds like. If a player takes too long to take a throw-in or a goal kick, the referee initiates a visible countdown. And if the restart is not taken in time, the consequences are immediate and severe. A delayed throw-in means possession switches to the opposing team, and a delayed goal kick means the opposition gets a corner, which is an extraordinary punishment that will absolutely produce at least one moment of pure chaos at the World Cup, when a goalkeeper fumbles his distribution under pressure and accidentally gifts a corner to a team that should never have had one. And yet the logic behind the rule is completely sound, because the amount of time wasted at restarts in modern football is genuinely staggering, and goalkeepers already operate under the 8-second rule for holding the ball. So extending that same principle to throw-ins and goal kicks is not a radical departure, but a long overdue correction. And yes, players will adapt, and yes, they will find creative new ways to waste time that do not involve restarts, because footballers are resourceful people who are paid extraordinary sums to find advantages wherever the rules allow them. But this particular loophole is closing, and that is unambiguously a good thing for the sport. The second rule covers substitutions, and this one is aimed with laser precision at one of football's most infuriating rituals. The slow walk, the theatrical limp, the sudden and suspicious interest in a corner flag that a player develops the moment the board goes up in the 83rd minute. Because under the new rule, once the substitution board is raised, the departing player has exactly 10 seconds to leave the pitch. And if he does not leave in time, the player coming on must wait 1 full minute on the sideline while his team plays with 10 men, which is a punishment so disproportionate and so embarrassing that it will immediately recalibrate the behavior of every player in the tournament, because no footballer, regardless of how committed he is to time wasting, wants to be the man who cost his team a minute of numerical inferiority at a World Cup. And the television cameras will find him every time, and the replays will be merciless. And that social pressure alone may prove more effective than any formal sanction FIFA could devise. The third rule is the fake injury crackdown, and this is where the arguments begin, because FIFA has decided that if a player receives medical attention from the physio on the pitch, that player must leave the field for 1 minute, full stop. No exceptions except for goalkeepers, who are exempt because removing a goalkeeper for a minute would create problems so obvious they barely need explaining, and the intention of the rule is completely clear. It is designed to stop the tactical injury, the mysterious collapse that gives a team 60 seconds to reorganize, catch their breath, and disrupt the rhythm of an opponent who has just built genuine momentum. But the problem is that real injuries exist, that genuine medical emergencies cannot always be distinguished from cynical ones in real time, and that a referee making that judgment call under pressure in a World Cup knockout game is a referee who is one bad decision away from becoming the story of the tournament for all the wrong reasons. So this rule is good in theory, complicated in practice, and guaranteed to generate at least one furious post-match press conference before the group stage is finished. The fourth rule expands VAR's jurisdiction to include second yellow cards and corner kick decisions, which means more VAR, which means more delays, which means the sport's most divisive technological intervention is now more powerful than ever, and the debate about whether that is progress or punishment will continue indefinitely, though the correction of mistaken identity, the ability for VAR to intervene when the wrong player has been carded, is a straightforwardly sensible addition that should have existed from the beginning. The fifth rule allows referees to wear body cameras, controlled by the competition rather than the officials themselves, which will eventually produce footage that changes how fans understand refereeing decisions. And the sixth rule finally fixes the DOGSO paradox, denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, by ruling that if a referee plays advantage after such a foul and a goal actually results, no card is issued at all because the goal-scoring opportunity was not denied, it was completed, and penalizing the foul in that situation was always a logical contradiction that punished teams for scoring rather than rewarding them for it. And the fact that it took this long to fix says everything you need to know about the pace at which football's governing bodies move when the status quo is comfortable enough. 6 rules, 1 clear intention, and a World Cup in July that will tell us whether any of it actually works.